Okay, you're going to need another piece of paper with an X and Y axis drawn. So if you need to pause the video to do that, you should do that right now. All right, now we're going to look at distance on the coordinate plane. So I'm going to give you 2 points to put on your coordinate graph. The first point, point A, is going to be located at 4, 3. So we start here, we count over 4 in a positive direction, and then a y coordinate of 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put a point there. I'm going to go with my green pen. So I'm going to label this 4, 3, and this is going to be point A. So my question is, how far is point A from the x-axis? Well, this is the x-axis, so you can see it is 1, 2, 3 units from the x-axis. How far is point A from the y-axis? Well, the y-axis is here, and it is 1, 2, 3, 4 units. Okay? Now, I want you to put point B on your graph, and B is going to be 4, -2. So we're going to start on the origin, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a y value, a y coordinate of -2, 1, 2, puts B right here, and we're going to call it 4, -2. So the question now is, how far is it from point A to point B? Well, you might notice that they are on the same vertical line, right? They line up vertically. A is on over B if you look at it straight up and down, right? And that is because they have the same X value. What's different is the Y values, okay? So now let's count how far it is from point A to point B. We could just count the units. We know it's 1, 2, 3 units to get to the x-axis, and then 2 more units to get to point B. And it's 2 more underneath the x-axis because the y coordinate is -2. So we have the 3 units here plus 2 more units gives it a distance of 5. 5 units. Now our unit of measure are just going to be generic units at this point. Okay? So we could say from A to B is equal to 3 plus 2. Now, where did the 3 come from? Well, the 3 was the y coordinate of A, and 2 was not really the y coordinate of B, but it was the absolute value of its y coordinate. So we could also say that the distance from the 3 here is the absolute value of +3. So we're always looking at positive values when we're talking about distance, right? You can't have a negative distance. So whenever we need to consider the positive location of something, we're going to think about it in terms of its absolute value. Okay, so let's look at point D. Point D, I think I'm going to use my red pen here because it might show up better. Point D is -5, -4. So we start at the origin. -5 would be to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. -4 would be down, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to label this point D, -5, -4. Now, how far is D from the x-axis? Well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 units. So even though its y coordinate is -4, its distance to the x-axis is +4 because it's the absolute value of -4. How far is D from the y-axis? Well, 1, 2, I must have counted that wrong. This is -5. I put it in the wrong place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I didn't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My graph paper is very light, so it's hard to see all the spaces. So from D to the y-axis is a distance of 5. The x-coordinate is -5, but we're going to think about that as a positive value because it's a distance question. Okay, Point C is -1, -4. -1 to the left, -4 down. Puts it right here. That's point C, -1, -4. So the question is, how far is it from C to D? Well, what would we do here? We could count it. We could say 1, 2, 3. There's 4 units between them. Well, how did we get that? We looked at the difference between the absolute value of their x coordinates. So we would say the absolute value of 5, because this is this location here, minus the absolute value of -1 means 5 minus 1, which equals 4. That is how you find distance on a coordinate plane. All right, so what I want you to do now is to open your books to page 406, and we're going to work on this together.